Hey there, everybody. As I mentioned in my last video, we are going to be taking on the very hard stage 118. That's the final boss against Maleficent. There are actually two bosses, but we'll get to that in a second. If you do manage to beat the stage, you get access to this lovely treasure chest, which is full of pixel bond, 1,000 pixel bond. In fact, pixel bond, of course, being that very crucial ingredient for limit break stones. So 1,000 pixel bond, assuming that you have 10,000 limit break stone fragments, will allow you to craft 10 limit break stones. And so that's really, really nice. As you can see, I'm actually pretty close to being able to craft 20 limit break stones thanks to that 1,000 pixel bond from that treasure chest. So I'm very excited about that. Probably going to use it on my Moana. If you're not sure what to do with limit break stones or how they work, I did a video on that a couple weeks ago. Check my backlog and look that up to figure out what limit break stones are all about. So as for the boss, there are 3 missions. Obviously, clear without anybody dying, clear with a party of 4 or fewer, and clear with a party including Aurora. Now, obviously, I haven't done the party of 4 or fewer. You can theoretically do an all missions clear with this. It does require very strong units. There is someone on our Discord who did an all missions clear, but they are one of the whalier members of the Discord, so not something I think everybody can do. What I'm going to show, I'll show you the team that I used just to do the 2 missions that you see here, and then I might try a team with a party of 4 or fewer as well. We'll see. Depends on how long the first fight takes. All right, so enemies. So you'll notice pretty much everybody here is orange weak, of course, because Aurora is an orange striker. You can also use Alice, though. Alice is an orange striker who is objectively better than Aurora, but obviously if you want those Aurora medals, you're going to bring Aurora. If you don't have Aurora, then you can't complete the mission and you don't really care. And so, yeah, bring Alice as your orange striker because she's technically better anyways. And so the fight consists of 4 waves. The first 2 waves are just your typical mob enemies, and they're all orange weak. Wave 3, however, is this little bouncy mimic, and this guy's super annoying, right? So we've seen him from all the other very hard stages. He has no weakness, and so yeah, it doesn't even matter bringing Aurora against him. And the most annoying thing about him is that when you knock him out of rage mode, he likes to do an AoE stun. It doesn't have a 100% chance, but yeah, if it I think it's a 50% chance of hitting your units. But if you get really unlucky, it can hit pretty much everybody, and then he'll do an AoE move that basically knocks out the whole party. So yeah, this guy's super annoying. So he's a bit of a gatekeeper. And then Maleficent is a bit of a challenge herself. So it's actually a kind of a nice, challenging little fight. This is the party that I used to clear it for the first time. And so this is the party I'm going to show you how I used and how I did it, essentially. So Cruella, of course, here, she's the ultimate defense buffer with the both defense and damage reduction buffs. Also, she's a healer, which is fantastic. She also brings the skill lock resist, which, as we all know, Maleficent loves to use skill lock. And then poison resist, because there are a lot of enemies that also use poison resist in this fight as well. So those 2 resists are really, really nice to have. And then Doofy, one of my favorite DPS units next to Moana, brings the attack up boost, which is really, really nice. Just helps you increase your damage output. So love bringing him. Aurora, obviously, for the mission, and because she's an orange striker. And then we've got Belle, who is the ultimate offensive buffer. Of course, I bring her everywhere I can. And then Patisserie Mini is going to be our SP generator for this fight. All right. So let's get in here and see how we get this done. Hopefully we don't run into too many issues. Hopefully the bouncy mimic doesn't decide to stun the whole party and then wipe us out so that we have to restart. All right, let's get in here and see how we get it done. All right, so we're going to start off targeting this guy because he'll do an attack break to your party, which isn't such a big deal, but it just makes things go that much slower. So we'd rather just get rid of him so that we can kind of speed things up a little bit. So we're going to target this guy first to make sure that we don't get that attack break. All right. Now, assuming that your units are strong enough that you can kill him on turn 1, may not be, all right? In fact, we might not even kill him here if we get really, really unlucky. Yeah, okay. I think we're gonna get it. There we go. Okay. Next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna target this guy because this guy loves to buff his units, and if we don't kill him on this turn, then he's gonna do an attack buff on everybody, and we don't want that. So let's go ahead and target him next and make sure we kill him. Okay, easy peasy. Okay, looking good, looking good. All right, I think we can... Yeah, let's just go ahead and make sure we kill all these guys here. Okay, now we're going to target this guy. Okay, because he will do regen on the rest of the rest of his little friends, and we don't want that. Definitely don't want them regenerating, because that can just make things really annoying. Okay, next I think I'm going to target this guy. We'll use Aurora to knock him out. Let me check. Just want to make sure I'm not using buffs I don't really need to. All right, so we don't need to use Cruella. All right, because the idea is you want to try and make sure you go into the boss fight with pretty close to max SP if you can. Yeah, the idea is, you want to make sure you have full buffs, but you also want to make sure you have pretty close to full SP. Okay, so this should do the trick, and I'm actually going to guard everyone else just to make sure we recoup that SP that we're about to use. There we go. All right, so now we can basically just unload everybody. Do I actually need to do... Yeah, I need to do everything. Yep. So let's go ahead and do it. All right. And yeah, we're just going to unload everyone here. Maybe even Minnie. Nah, we don't really need her. She doesn't deal that much damage. I'm not going to worry about that. Man, not getting a lot of crit hits here. That's a bit annoying. There we go. There's one. All right. All right, so he does a shield. It's a pretty small shield. He also does a 10% attack buff, which is also pretty small. But remember, boss damage formula is exponential, so even a 10% damage increase is pretty significant. Okay, so yeah, we definitely want to make sure that we are, maintaining all of our buffs. We want to make sure that we are dealing as much damage as we can to try and get this guy out of rage mode as soon as we can. So again, we're just going to use everybody. Okay, so yeah, pretty small shield as you can see. Hopefully we're going to knock this guy out of rage mode here. Pretty close. Yep, there we go. Now he's going to do stun, and thankfully he only stunned 2 out of 2 out of 5. All right, which is pretty good. So hopefully we can still do a considerable amount of damage here, and hopefully he doesn't kill anybody. We do have our buffs. Our buffs are all fully good. Oh, actually, Belle doesn't need to do her. So what I might actually do, I might actually defend Belle, because we don't need our crit buffs, and I just want to make sure she doesn't die. Like, because the boss is going to do an AoE. He's got an attack buff. So, yeah, we just want to make sure Belle doesn't die for some reason. All right. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay, sweet. So we should be good to go. So yeah, the jammer attack, of course, wakes everybody up from their stun. And then, yeah, we're just going to make sure we heal up, buff up, and try and kill this guy as quickly as possible from this point. All right. I do want to try and conserve a little bit of SP, because with Minnie being stunned, obviously she wasn't there to generate any SP for us. Okay. All right, you see we did get poisoned too because Cruella was stunned, so she didn't put up her resistance. Hopefully she puts up the resistance at the end of this turn, or else we're going to get skill locked, but we're going to find out. Okay. So yeah, here we want to, first of all, check our buffs, see what we need to use, what we need to make sure we put up. Okay. So we're going to do we're definitely going to do buffs with, I definitely want to do Cruella, and then I'm actually going to defend, because we need to do some some SP generating here. All right, I'm just going to do a shield and a skill lock, and we got skill locked because Cruella. Fantastic. Now, the nice thing is it's only one turn. So, yeah, we don't have to stress too much about that. And then hopefully Cruella will put up the resistance, so we never have to worry about it for the rest of the fight. So let's just, I mean, we don't have much choice other than just sit here and do normal attacks. All right, so we are back, and let's just start doing some skills here. All right, we gotta we gotta make up for some lost time. All right, and you know she is orange weak, so you know we can definitely use Aurora here to some advantage. Okay, you'll notice that she also likes to debuff our attack and our defense. It is a 40%. Well, each iteration, I should say, is 20%, but it lasts for a long time. So yeah, eventually it's going to stack up to 50%. So you definitely want to make sure you're keeping your buffs up on this one. Okay, I'm just going to do. Sorry, I'm double checking. Yep. All right. So I'm just going to do, make sure our defensive buffs are up. All right, I'll keep doing some orange strikers. All right, our resists are up now, so we don't have to worry about getting poisoned or skill locked anymore. All right. All right, I'm going to defend with Goofy because, wow, he's getting really scary low there. We definitely need to use Cruella. I might defend with, what's her name as well? Yeah, I think I'm going to do, this is what I think I'm just going to defend with those two. Just because they're a bit low. Okay. Yeah, I am going to go ahead and use this because I would like to have the regen. And then, yeah, we're going to unload some more skills. Because as you see, she put up another shield, and she's still in rage mode, which I really don't like. And so we need to just try and, yeah, knock her out of this as quickly as possible, because her shield is actually quite big. It's going to take a fair bit to chew through that shield. If you've got like Engineer Donald, that can be really, really helpful against her to get through that shield. Oh no! Oh, uh-oh! I am in serious trouble now. Holy cow! All right, I was not expecting that to happen. So yeah, we got to get super lucky here. All right. Well, we lost that mission. Uh-oh. I could be in real trouble here, folks. All right, let's see if we can end this quick. Oh, man. Whew. All right, so I got unlucky there. I got unlucky there with a couple of those heavy attacks. You know, the heavy attack landing on Cruella. And, yeah, but we still got the Aurora mission. So yeah, it might take you a couple of tries to knock them all out, but that's kind of the fun of the challenge. I like that it's not super easy. And yeah, even with a strong team, I mean, I'm not a whale, but I've got a fairly strong crew. And even then, yeah, it's still not easy.